Gara, you've totaled your expenses, and you're about ready to submit for your service charge. So, tell us, what does the invoice say about the price level?
It's over 9,000!
What, Josh, 9,000? There's no way that can be right. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 4 of Threshold, Relics of the Homeland. We're going to do a little town time this episode. Let's go around, meet the players. Guys, as you go around this time, give me a more detailed physical description of you guys, because I want to get a little more into characters this time around. I'm talking like hair colors, builds, that kind of stuff.
Really? Hair colors? Okay,
yep, let's start. Speaking of hair color, let's start.
Hey everyone! My name is Steven. I am playing Angularis Sacre Artiferix. He is a level 5 wizard, blade singer, and he is he's a tall elf. He's pretty muscular, but the most noticeable thing about him is he has no hair. His hair has been at some point shaved or at least cut very, very close to his head. And the left side of his body is covered in tattoos, which actually doubles as a spellbook. He typically wears dark leather armor, so ink-stained leather armor, and he carries a longsword as well. And he is a ghost hunter.
Okay. Hi, I'm Patrick, and I'm playing Tassaveris Aurelius, the level 5 paladin half-elf. But you can call me Toss. I look like a half-elf. I've got red hair. That's
Red hair.
Not. Yeah, it's like an auburn.
Good, perfect.
I don't quite look like an elf. I don't quite look like a human. I've got shiny plate armor with a crescent moon on it because I am a knight of Lunam. And I also have a little stubble going on in the face, which sort of gives me away. Can't keep it under control, you know?
Right.
I can't help it.
Okay. Hi, my name is Pamela, and I am playing Victoria Pontifexos Perfectus, or Tiff for short. She is a level 5 cleric of Victoria. She wears half-plate armor. She has a hijab and Nodish steel laurels, which are one of the holy symbols of Victoria. Half-plate with the crossed swords, which is a second symbol of Victoria. If you refer to the handy, star chart in the religion section of our wiki, you can see the different areas of those different symbols of the different gods of both Lunam and Victoria. She has green eyes. I guess you would assume brown hair because of her eyebrows. I guess you can't really tell her build because she's wearing half plate, but you would assume that if she can carry half plate, she's probably pretty strong.
Right on.
Okay. Hi, I'm Zach. I'm playing Vox, a elven druid. He has long hair. He doesn't really keep it trimmed or cut in any way, since elves don't like that. And he doesn't really take care of it either. Kind of just lets it mat and just be wild. It's nature. It should be free. He's got emerald eyes, and he tries to keep everything else but his hair clean because he likes to look presentable, but it's just that extra piece of the wild he wants to keep with him always. He wears leather armor, and he has a quarterstaff.
Awesome. I'm Josh. I'm playing Garadal Galithalar, also known as Gara. He is a level 5 ranger, and he's the team's transplanar technicifer. He works with portals. He's a little heavy set, but on the pudge side, I guess you could call him husky. He's got long brown hair that's starting to get a little gray, maybe white going on in it. He wears half plate, probably the standard Technicifers Registry Model 11C half-plate.
Good.
He's got it like it's very much it's the Technicifers Guild's outfit. He looks like any of the other guys on the job. And yeah, ready to rock.
What does it say about the Technicifers Guild that they issue half plate as standard attire?
Well, it's
It's really just reinforced overalls, but
that's
yeah. It occurred to me. I think that green eyes are like common like brown eyes for elves, because it just seems like we have a lot of elves with green eyes. Vel has green eyes too.
Then mine are blue.
Well then. All right. Anyway, so you guys just finished with your meeting with slight retcon. I'm calling her Matri Victoria now
Great.
instead of Mother Superior, because Matri sounds cooler and is more Latin-y.
Matri Superior.
Yes.
Proper.
Matri Victoria. Ditch the
Victoria.
Superior.
Great.
So yeah, you guys have just finished that, and you've been told to return here in a day's time to meet with the mysterious information source behind your last mission. So you have a day to kind of kill here. What would you guys like to do? You're standing sort of in the center of the Victoria Ecclesia, near where the portal that led you in is. So, again, a wide circular area with many tiers.
Gara wants to he has to visit the local Technicifers Registry, his outpost or location, to file his paperwork and recharge the Jad.
The Jad needs to be recharged, of course. Good. You know, of course, that the local chapter of the Technicifers Union is actually inside the Nexus, set up in between some dormant portals.
Correct.
So you can head back in there if you'd like. Where's everybody else heading, just so that I have a good idea?
Ferrex, he has some magical components that he needs to pick up. He has some stuff that he wants to finish copying, some of those scrolls that he wants to continue to work with. So he's going to head home, but first he needs to stop by a marketplace to pick up some reagents.
Fantastic. Okay. Toss.
Toss is he has to report in at the Knights of Lunam
Right.
headquarters. I have to, do my paperwork, explain everything that would happen and everything, and then I'm probably gonna try to find my dad and tell him how awesome I was.
Great. I'm sure he'll be excited to hear that.
Yeah.
Tiff.
I am going to head to my studio, where I will file my report and then take Matre Victoria's advice and do some metalworking and glass blowing.
Fantastic. Vox, what are you up to?
Fox would leave the church, and he would just kind of wander the streets when he could. And any garden he finds is maybe a little untaken care of, he kind of like sneaks in and like trims a little bit of the bushes and stuff, and like makes it look nicer.
It's like a ninja gardener.
For some reason, in my mind, Vox has dreads.
He does. He has. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I.
that's
He's
cool.
got matted hair.
He has
and it's
elf.
just kind
He
of,
has elf dreads. They're
But
like
they're
dreads.
like untaken care of
Yeah.
dreads.
They're like dreads, but they stick out like they're long, like past his knees.
Maybe there's like a bird living in his hair, and he's okay with it.
There's
like,
probably wildlife in his hair.
Ferrex hates that so much.
Pamela hates that so much.
Okay, fantastic. Let's actually start with Vox then. So while everybody else, Tiff peels off and heads to a different area of the Victoria Ecclesia, everybody else is pretty much moving back towards the portal, and strangely, you just walk out the exit of the Victoria Ecclesia, which is not a common thing. You walk by several guards as well as a bunch of wards that fortunately don't trigger from someone leaving from the inside. But you get the sense that like this long hallway hasn't been used in a really long time, and people almost exclusively enter and exit through the portal.
Is there jungle like coming up into the hallway?
Yeah, like towards the end of the hallway, there's lots of moss and some vines and stuff starting to grow. You actually probably have to. You probably wouldn't cut it because you're fancy. You're
I'm a druid.
yeah, you're a hippie like that. But you push your way through. You know, ask politely and they move aside. Whatever you want to do.
So during the entire time he's kind of like pushing the vines away, I'd be using my druidcraft ability to like have the flowers sprout on the vine, so it just it looks so much nicer. And collecting like dead leaves and just kind of like I'll put it in my bag. Just keep going and just like preen a little the dead stems and stuff off.
I just imagine like the guard, like there's just like guards out there like watching you as you're like grabbing stuff off the ground. Like, oh yeah.
You're getting some weird looks.
Weirdo.
But yeah, then no one really impedes you, probably because of your look. You're very obviously Terra Totem, and they assume that you're going out to hug a tree or something. Great. While you're doing that, let's do you three go.
As Vox peels off, Ferrex is like, oh, thank God. Yeah, he can go out into the wilds.
Great. You guys make your way back into the Nexus way. And can peel off. Who wants to go first here, actually? All right.
Sure.
All right.
See the
Gara.
Technical Guild.
Yeah.
Yep. So as you kind of peel off, you have the least distance to go because the Techniciphers Guild is fairly centrally located in a. It's basically like a rounded area of portals that has just had desks set up in between all of them. And it's really just kind of in the middle of the Nexus in several unactivated gates.
Perfect.
Yeah, so you walk up there, and I assume you find your union rep or something.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna. I guess I come out of the portal. Gara's gonna walk up to the information desk, and say, Garadel, Golithalar reporting. Got some paperwork to turn in.
There's kind of a pinched-faced elf of indeterminate age that has tiny spectacles sitting behind the desk. And he's like, yes, right. Do you have any questions? Did you fill out everything already?
Yes. The standard 11B form, 11C, 11D, 11E, and he continues. He just hands it's like a parchment of paperwork.
He looks mildly irritated at you, and he's like, what about the 11C/47?
Yeah.
I seem to be missing it.
And he pulls out a giant codex, flips through. It takes about a half hour for him to flip through this codex. While you're waiting for him to flip through this codex, let's go to Ferrex next.
So Ferrex is heading. What's
So Ferrex
best way
lives in a shadier part of town, by way of Nexus, it's maybe a 5-minute walk from the Ecclesia Victoria because everything's fairly dense Nexus side. But yeah, as you go through this portal, you find that you port in sideways and then you land on several mattresses that are positioned under it, and you find yourself in a place that is sort of condescendingly called Lopside among more polite elves. It's a massive elvish structure that has since toppled on its side and is now used as housing and sort of a slum area. It's cheaper housing, tenements, and it's also got some small it's got a fairly large marketplace around the Nexus gates where you can find lots of things depending on how hard you're willing to look.
Ferrex gets up and he sort of dusts himself off and takes some of the dust and the dirt off of his armor now that he's fallen on these dirty mattresses, and he makes his way towards the market, and he just kind of grumbles and looks at the sideways portal and makes a mental note to remember to go in sideways next time.
Yeah, the portal's like set maybe 4 or 5 feet off of the floor, and like clearly it was built into like this this floor that is now a wall.
So this is
at one
like
point.
90-degree lopside.
Yeah, like literally the building has gone.
Oh God. Okay. So I guess in that case, I imagine there's a lot of ups and downsies through doors and
Yes,
windows.
as you walk into the marketplace, there's several doors and stuff in the what is now the ceiling with ladders coming down off of them. There's several. You have to watch your step because there's several of those similar openings in the floor with ladders strung down
So
them.
he's gonna make his way down the central market. I think it's like down more towards I guess what would be a ground level of the building. He's like going down some ladders, and then there's a point where there's like the room like slope curves to the side because it's some stairs that lead to like a stairway door that you have to climb through.
As you're walking through, a few unattended objects try and throw themselves at you. I'm not going to make you roll for it because I think Ferrix is expecting this.
Yeah, he just kind of has his. Would it be bad to have the sword out? Just kind of great. So he's just gonna like maybe there's a ceramic pot or something that he just cuts through on its way through the air and.
It's like most of the really threatening spirits have been dealt with, but this place isn't grounded out like the nicer places to live.
So yeah, he's just moving around that direction, and then maybe he'll like just throw a charm or some dust or something in that direction to kind of stop some of these pesky spirits.
As you throw it, you hear a muffled "Ah!"
Yeah, and I'm just gonna make my way towards the market.
Perfect. As you're climbing and stuff, we're gonna switch to Toss for just a second. Toss, you make your way to the Pyramus Loon, which was a recently reclaimed addition to the Domus Batrum. It's actually about a 2-hour walk, but because of the new influence that has been exerted by the newly empowered Church of Lunam, the leaders of the church insisted on not only the pyramid being reclaimed and repopulated by the church, but also that the route between it and the nearest urban center, which would be Domus Batrum in this case, is constantly secured. And
Okay.
yeah, so it's basically like a very well fortified shot straight there,
Perfect.
but it's a bit of a walk.
Okay.
And you
Yeah.
pass. It's probably the densest patrols you're going to run into for moon nights and everything.
Okay, yeah, as I see some of like my brothers, I
Mhm.
guess, as I pass, I'll occasionally, if I know one of them, I'll be like, I just got back from a mission. I just completed a mission, and try to boast
Yes.
a bit.
The first 3 times that you do that, you get kind of like surprised, annoyed glares before they just turn and act like they didn't see you. The 4th time, though, a patrol formation goes by and one of them peels off and goes, "Toss, where did they send you?"
Do I know this?
Yes, you recognize him.
Okay.
He was in your training class.
Oh, okay. It's like, how are you? I was on like a scouting mission for the Church of Victoria.
Oh, there's Church of Victoria. That's so. Anyway, there's been a lot of talk about it. I guess they sent you somewhere fairly dangerous.
Yes, there were spirits and rugs that tried to eat people, and I found a bug, and a man was made of paper.
Rugs and bugs and paper sounds really dangerous, Toss.
That
Well, anyway,
was.
yeah, I'm glad you made it back. I'm sure they're waiting for your report. I won't keep you. And he looks like self-conscious because he realizes that the rest of his detachment has stopped and is looking at him weird.
Feel free to tell people that I came back and was
Right,
successful.
Toss, he said. He doesn't look back at you. You make your way to the gate that will take you to the Temple of Lunam. It's been fortified. They've cleared out the adjacent 2 gates and planted moonberry trees, which is very strange in the Nexus. There's like artificial light growing these, and it's actually a fairly grandiose
Awesome.
site for a Nexus gate. It, like all of the ones in Domus Batrum, is just open all the time.
Right.
So there's a pair of Moon Knights, but they recognize you and nod you through.
I give them
You return,
yeah.
yeah.
Back.
Yep. You make your way in. It actually, the portal dumps you out right at the top of the pyramid,
Okay.
where there's a large glowing shaped like a full moon orb. Actually, it reflects the current phase of the moon, so it's like maybe 3/4
Okay.
right now. And it's, gosh, maybe probably at least 10 feet diameter, just floating in the middle of this open atrium at the top of the pyramid. It was reignited when the pyramid was retaken, and it's fueled by Lunam's divine magic as a symbol that she has returned.
As I enter, I give Lunam my respects. You know, perhaps I kneel for a moment and whisper
Great.
a prayer or two.
Yeah, there's several knights and clergy around doing similar things.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Let's jump to Tiff really quick here.
Great.
Tiff, we left you in the Ecclesia Victoria. What are you up to?
So a couple of things. I need to file my report and do inventory of all the items given to Matre Victoria. I'm also going to ask if I can check out the Sending Stone to do further investigation of
Great.
its powers. And then once that is all done, I get to work making some glass bottles to sell from the church.
Great.
Just to work on my craftsmanship.
Fantastic. You make an inquisition down at the magical item docket, and they have actually set aside all of the things that you recently brought back because they're a priority for inspection, and they quickly, yes, of course. Here's the Sending Stone you acquired. Preliminary scans don't seem to be able to locate its mate anywhere nearby, but it is a fascinating piece.
Yes.
And they leave you to it.
Great. I'm gonna take it back to my studio and look it over. I guess, is there any kind of check that I'd have to do to maybe figure out how it works as far as is there just a spell of sending, or is it, because you said it was a lost magic?
It is. Tell you what, give me an Arcana check.
Okay. 19.
As you handle the Sending Stone and sort of probe it with your magical sensibilities and stuff, you find that it's fairly intuitive, and you feel like you could actually send a message with it if you wanted to. Just by kind of projecting your thoughts into the stone, it would project them to the stone's mate. And you can't really tell how it was made or anything other than really, really dense enchantments, but that's you feel that you could use it if you so choose.
Okay. I'm going to send a message to the stone.
Great. What are you going to send?
I'm going to send hello.
Okay. There's a
Hello, world.
there's a long pause. You probably wait 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then right when you're about to maybe give up and set the stone down, you hear echoing back into your head a strange voice that says, "Who is this?"
Who are you?
Answer the question.
Victoria.
Well, that narrows it down.
Do I hear
How'd you
anything
get
else?
my stone?
It was found in a temple.
I suppose it would have been. And that'll be all. And then you hear the connection just
Okay. So there's you can feel when
Like,
there's somebody on the other.
you get the sense, instead of words, he just projects the sense of finality. Like you
Okay.
almost feel the door close in your face.
Okay. And was the voice? Could I figure out? Was it elven? Was it human? Was it
He was-
orcish?
You definitely
Male,
got the.
female.
It was definitely sounded male, or well, it was all in your head. But as far as you can tell, he was communicating in Vox Populi.
Okay.
But beyond that, you couldn't really glean too much. It was very coarse, very direct. Great. Let's jump. Vox, do you have anything else you want to do while you're skipping out there?
No, he'd probably just be enjoying nature, trying to stay away from modernization.
As you're skipping through the jungle, I assume you're skipping.
Yeah, it's more fun.
Great. Yeah. It's just
He's protesting Elvish gentrification.
yeah.
Elves.
You as you're going along out there, you actually find a small Terratotem settlement. Are you gonna swing in and say hey, or do you want to just keep on going?
Yeah, just kind of like wander in, just be like, yeah, I've been here before. I don't really know, but yeah, I've been here before.
Great. You have been here before.
Yes.
And actually, one of the young elves who's out tending to the fields around this recognized you, and he goes, "Oh, Mr. Vox, you're back."
Hey, I'm really bad with names. I'm sorry.
Pick.
Pick. I remember Pick.
Sure you do. Oh, well, I just wanted to say, thank you for fortifying the fields and everything last time you were here. That was the harvest has been really excellent this year.
That's great to hear. I mean, that's Druid's work. Druid is here to help nature.
Well, thank you anyway. What are you doing out here?
Being a Druid, just loving nature, staying away from modernized elven culture.
I think did one of your another one of your order came by maybe a week after you left last time. They said they were looking for you.
Oh, they're looking for me.
They didn't say. We told them that we had seen you recently and that you had headed towards Victoria Ecclesia.
Did they seem angry?
Not particularly. I think. Did they say what? I don't remember what the name was. Maybe I'm as bad at names as you are.
Was it Volpino?
Yes, that must have been it.
Someone from my family.
Yes?
Well, I mean, you don't know our names, but yeah. Was it a girl, I assume?
Yes,
Okay.
very
Was she...
similar hair to yours.
Okay, so it's probably my older or younger sister. She blonde or brunette?
I believe brunette was
Okay, it was my younger sister.
yes, she seemed young. Anyway, if I see them again, where would you like me to let them know that you're? Are you staying anywhere particular?
Did you know the church of Victoria's like right over there? And he just kind of like leans back and points.
Yes, we're not on super good terms with them, but they leave us alone, and every once in a while, if we need military intervention, they'll help drive off some spirits or beasts from time to time.
Well, I just did work for him, so I mean I could maybe like smooth things over if you guys are having problems.
We just don't really mix well with those types, Vox. I'm surprised to hear that you get along so well with them. And in fact, they're like, what do you get out of even working with them?
I mean, they give me like money, but I mean, I get everything I need from nature.
Then why?
It's good to help people. In fact, you know what? Here's my payment I made. Just get supplies.
Are you sure?
I'm just gonna eat food from the forest.
Well, thank you. Well, maybe we can actually try to be a little more receptive to to those Victorian types.
We were all the same. We have different views. That's all.
Right. Well, thank you again, Vox. I'll be sure to tell your sister. Where did you say you were staying?
We have a big tree. I think it's in that direction. I'll find it.
Okay.
I hate you so much.
I love this. There's a big tree in that direction. I'll find
In
it.
this jungle.
He leaves you to skip away. Meanwhile, back in the Nexus, it's now been 40 minutes. He goes, yes, of course. Here's the form you missed. Make sure not to miss any of the lines that you need to sign on. And be sure to carry the 3.
Gara rolls his eyes. He says, how green do you think I am? As he takes I also require this recharge. And he puts the Jad down and hands over the proper documents. The documentation is all here, including an itemized list of how it was discharged. And pushes it over as he begins bowing out.
She looks down her nose at you and says, well, you did forget the form. She takes your Jad to be recharged.
He huffs.
They just give him a new Jad, and then just like you
Yeah.
just put one in. They give you a new one out.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
like
how
that.
it works.
Great. So you can get a new Jad then?
Yeah, she
Is it a
reaches.
charged one?
There's a box of charged Jads.
Great.
Fill out the release form
He takes the Jad, of course.
and this release form
Of course.
and this waiver.
Yes, of course. And it's like a pile of documents.
Yeah.
Now he's like,
You go to one of the many workstations that are
yeah,
stationed nearby.
Sits down.
I
Job
have,
sounds awful.
I have to wonder if there was a DMV in the Elven world, what would that look like?
I'm
And
pretty
how
sure
many
the-
years would you spend there?
The Techniciphers Guild's pretty
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, it's really close.
I was gonna say it sounds like the whole of Elvish society is a D&D.
Something like that.
That's so, it's like hell on earth.
Ferrix.
Moving on.
You've made your way down to the marketplace. As it opens up, there's actually on this level, it's a high vaulted ceiling, or it was. Now it's just a really wide room. But there's been several wooden platforms constructed and rope bridges and everything, and it's just this large marketplace throughout the entire area.
Great. I've been here before, so I kind of know where I'm going, and I shuffle about the I shuffle about the mall, the market, looking down at the paintings that are under my feet, the frescoes and stuff that are slowly being worn away by footsteps, and I buy the things that I need. Some magical, just really some magical reagents. There's some stuff in the some stuff I have to mix with ink for my tattoos. It's like a couple types of dried herbs, and I have a relationship with the. I go to my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your guy goes, Ferrix. Good to see you.
What's his name?
Artificus.
Artificus.
Yeah, or Ficus.
I like Ficus.
Ficus.
He says, "Hey, Ficus. Hey, Ficus. Look, I give him a list. I'll take 2 of the Nightwing grass. Give me a box of owl feathers." And
he's almost reaching for these things before you say them at this point. He's like,
I found a couple interesting scrolls that I'm looking to add to the spell book. So
oh, fascinating. Anything dangerous?
always.
Ah, that's how you like it, I know. And he thumps all of the stuff down on the counter.
What does this run me?
Let's go with 6 half moons. Sorry, quarters. Misspoke.
Ah, that's better. He actually.
I like to see the look on your face when I. When I gouge the prices, Ferrix, it never ceases to entertain.
Well, how's everything been around here?
Oh, you know, business as usual. There was a fairly nasty possession down at Parsons Bakery, but
Pity. That would have been fun to watch.
well, it wasn't for Parsons, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Also, what do I care? I'll see you later, Fixes.
Take care, Ferrix.
Before I go home, Ferrix decides that he wants to go get a quick drink of a quick bottle of absinthe from.
Okay. Fantastic. There's several places in the marketplace that can provide that.
What would like a really nice bottle of Elven absinthe run? I have 4 full moons. Is that
A really nice bottle?
yeah?
Probably a full moon, maybe 2, depending
Great.
on how fancy you want to
Great.
get.
That's what he wants to do. He
Fantastic.
wants one good thing.
Yeah, the barkeep kind of gingerly gets it out and goes, 2 full.
He reaches in the table and combines a couple with Mendane, just combines a couple of half moons into full moons, and he hands them to you, hands them on the table.
Enjoy yourself.
Says thanks, and he puts it into his bag and turns to leave, and he's gonna head out.
Fantastic. Let's see. Toss, you have finished your rites at the top of the moon pyramid.
Praise be to Lunam.
Right on. Where are you headed now?
Probably have to go file a report saying that I finished my assigned mission.
Fantastic. You work your way. The pyramid is mostly hollow inside, and there's several chambers and meeting areas, and the barracks is even housed in the lowest level.
Okay.
So, yeah, you make your way down to dispatch, basically, and it's actually fairly quiet in dispatch right now.
Is that abnormal?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
But it is also starting to get a little on the late side. And those that aren't out on patrols are probably eating or something.
Right.
However, one unlucky cadet is positioned at the desk. He's actually a junior even to you in the order.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Outranked.
And he looks up with you and you can see a little consternation in his face, but he goes, "Yes, how can I help you, sir?"
Yes, I just came back from my mission, and now I have to fill out my report. It was
Okay.
successful, by the way.
Good to hear, sir. Thud.
All the time in the
He
world.
finds his much faster, and he passes it off to you and says, "Please make sure not to forget any important details."
Of course not. And I start filling it out. I probably forget a few things.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should have a filling out report skill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dara's is maxed.
Elvish bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I fill out the report. I probably embellish my actions.
Of course.
I do note a particularly dangerous elf by the name of Angelar Secur Artiferix.
Right. As you're approaching finishing your report, another Moon Knight enters and walks to you and he says, Tassavarius, right?
Tassaveris.
Tassavarius, I had heard you were back. Your presence is actually requested for the tribunal. Have you filed your report yet?
I just am finishing up right now.
Fantastic, I'll take that. And he takes it without even waiting for you to finish it. Yeah, you're like, "This way, please," and he leads you deeper into the pyramid.
Okay.
Tiff, what are you up to?
After thinking it over a little bit, she's going to continue to play with the Sending Stone.
You're all being very good. Thank you for dealing with my full party split, but I think this is really interesting.
Ooh, I like the phrase, the full party split.
Yeah. After thinking it over, she tries to establish a connection again. We're not really sure how she did it the first time, but kind of just thinking about an open door helps her. And not expecting no reply, she says, look, it's hard to trust somebody when you don't see them. And I would like to know who's on the other end.
It doesn't take very long, actually. Like, you don't even really finish the thought before you get the projected sense of amusement, and then, oh, maybe you're not just a pleb after all. You managed to send the message, so that says something about you. However, I really need you to leave me alone right now.
Well, I mean, where are you? How far?
Not only is that not your business, but this is a little beyond your ken, little priest. And as he says that, the stone actually sparks a little bit, and you take a point of necrotic damage.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Interesting.
Okay. Let me get a mental note of that. Fine. And I shut the door on him.
All right. That's that. Do you want to continue messing with the stone, or
I'm gonna, are there any, symbols or anything on it, or is it just, does it just look like a pebble?
It looks like a pebble, basically a perfectly smooth oval pebble.
Okay.
And then it has several deep engravings that look like sort of, honestly, like drawings of gusts of air or something on it. It looks like a hearthstone.
I just found that on the floor.
We're not affiliated with Blizzard.
Great, this is now our sending
Yes,
stone.
now you have a sending stone.
It's good to use props.
Okay.
It's a little smoother than that, but same idea.
Okay. Can I do rubbings of the marks and do kind of a drawing of what it looks like?
Yeah, actually, the stone feels completely smooth, so rubbings won't accomplish much, but you can definitely,
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of weird actually, because you can see what looks like engravings or lines or designs, but it's completely smooth to the touch.
Okay, so it's like those little glass balls that have the flower inside of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
or almost like a marble or something,
Yeah,
but just
okay.
bigger.
Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna do my best at a drawing of it, and I make sure to do really detailed symbols on each side and mark where they are on the stone.
Fantastic. Cool. Let's see. Gara, you have completed your paperwork.
Yay!
Great.
You level up.
You gain lots of experience for defeating the paperwork.
Yeah, Gara turns in the rest. He says, and I made sure to carry the 3. And file a filing form. And he goes to collect his pay.
Yeah, she takes several long moments to look through, and then seems almost irritated that she's not able to find any problems. Before she goes, very good. I assume you know where to go then. As she starts to file this away.
Great. He takes his. Maybe he receives a form back or something.
Yeah, she gives you a receipt basically.
Great. He takes it to the register.
Yeah.
To get paid.
Yep. Register goes, clocked a little overtime, eh, Gara? Clank.
He just goes,
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
and gets his money. And now he's gonna head to what time is it right now?
It's
Evening?
it's early evening at this point. You've been filling out paperwork for a while.
Great. He's just gonna do his evening grocery shopping. Maybe he's heading to market or something wrong.
Fantastic. You actually take a different portal than Ferrix went through because, let's face it, you don't want to go to that market.
Fine.
You'll get mugged or something.
He's just gonna go, the 7-Eleven of the world.
You actually take a portal to Portus Azalea, which is up on the Isle of Azalea and has a much larger port-centric market. It's right there on the coast. There's large wharfs everywhere.
Great.
And yeah.
Yes, usually access the portal. I take it it's been somewhere it's his regular grocery place.
Yeah,
so
you
he
go
knows
here all
exactly
the
where to go. He's just gonna head to his favorite vendors.
You exchange several more grunts with vendors that try to engage you in conversation. And
and he's picking up fish and milk and eggs and yeah.
fantastic. That all runs you, I don't know, 6 half moons, 7 half moons,
Sure.
quarter moons. I keep doing that.
Great. How much does he get paid for his wages?
You get. I'm sorry, I should have thought of this. You received 4 full moons for your. It was actually a fairly large payout, and you clocked a fair degree of overtime.
Great. So yeah, he buys his groceries and he's shopping.
Fantastic. Toss, you have been led to a large central area. It sort of looks like a courtroom or something in the pyramid. And you come before the tribunal, which are 3 old elves
Oh boy.
that are actually looking quite a bit younger than even the last time you saw them. And the middle one says, Tassivarius, you've returned.
How do I address the council? Do I just
You can call them councilmen or whatever. I didn't really think of a
Okay.
fancy title for them.
I have, councilman. My mission was a success.
Fantastic. The council would like to receive your report in person. You may begin.
Toss sort of like his jaw drops a bit
No.
out of like fear. He wasn't expecting this at all. So he stumbles a bit and he's like, "Well, we went through several portals and finally arrived at our destination, which was believed to be some sort of old temple or shrine."
Old Temple.
Yes.
Lunam Ecclesia or Victoria Ecclesia?
Victoria, I believe.
Continue.
We then encountered many malevolent spirits.
Yes, I hear there are some of those out there.
Yeah, and we there was a rug.
A rug.
And armor, and we fought our way to a large room that had a
That's the tribunal member on the left says, "That's enough, Tasveras.
Yes, councilman.
What did you find there? I don't care about the battles that you fought with the rugs and the furniture."
There was a spell book that animated itself, and then there was also a large.
Did it say anything?
No, it was covered
Curious.
in runes and such. It all happened so fast. We found a what is the stone called?
Sending
We found a sending stone. We also found a staff that seemed to be.
Describe the staff.
It was a chain. It looked like links of chain, yet it stood on its own in a straight line, solid. And there was like chains that wrapped around it. And according to the people I was with, they said that it was powerful with necrotic energy.
Where's the staff now? Did you turn it over to the Victoria Ecclesia?
We tried to, but I believe it's currently in the hands of a wizard.
Do you believe that he'll return the staff? What has happened? Why was he allowed to keep it? This is very unorthodox.
I don't know, and I do not believe he'll return it.
Interesting. We understand that you are due to return back to the Victoria Ecclesia tomorrow?
Yes, we're to be addressed for some.
Thank you, Tasvarius. That will be all.
Thank you, councilman.
see that you're not late for your appointment tomorrow.
Yes, of course.
Dismissed.
Night.
And they sort of stop and start murmuring low to each other as you go. They've accepted your report. What are you going to do now?
Probably I want to like wherever my dad, if he's around the Pyramid Saloon, I probably would
Yes.
swing by his.
Great.
quarters.
You know where your father's office is.
Okay.
Typically, he has actually he's fairly high in the order and has a fairly nice office. And you go there. Standing outside the officers' quarters is someone that you recognize from your father's personal detachment, basically. And he says, Toss, I told you to stop bothering him.
I just wanted to talk to him for a minute.
Yeah, I doubt that he's actually going to feel the same. You know how he is.
He can't spare just a moment.
He's very busy, Toss.
I understand, but I just had a very successful mission, and I'd like to.
He kind of softens because you come around a lot,
Yeah.
and he turns you away more often than he does. Look, Toss. That's really great. He's not here right now.
Oh.
And
No, that's okay.
honestly, I'm not even sure when he'll be back. He's been detached on a. He has a special assignment.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
I thought he would have at least left a note or something.
He's so busy.
Right. What was I thinking?
I'll
From-
just come by another time.
All right, Toss. You can try.
I again give the the symbol.
And he
Of,
kind of half-heartedly like.
yeah. And I make my way to my space in the barracks, and I.
Great. The barracks is basically just several mats lined along the floor, like meant to be sat on during trances and such.
Right.
So I assume maybe you have two pushed together in a corner or something that.
Yeah, I've sort of like made my own little like crappy bed.
Yeah.
And so I go I take my my halberd and set it aside or put it. There's probably like an entryway where people put their
Yeah.
weapons. So
There's a few
put my
racks
weapon
around.
there. I take off my armor. I lay in my crappy little bundle bed. It's probably not very many people around in there right now.
Yeah, the people kind of flit in and out at odd intervals and do 4-hour rests and stuff,
Right.
but there's not really
probably
like a.
one or two in there that are.
It's spaced fairly even throughout the night, and there's never really a concrete time when there's lots of people resting in there.
I go and lay in like my corner and I put on the glasses of magnification that I kept, and I pull out my
Your Nexus
Nexus
bug.
bug, whose name is Skeedall.
Ski doll.
Yes. And I just kind of lay there for a while and like play with Skeedall, and my eyes probably tear up a little bit, but I don't cry because I know I'm around other people, and then eventually I take my things and I hide them away because we're not supposed to have personal effects, and I go to sleep.
Oh. All right, Ferrix, you're headed back with your bottle of absinthe.
Yeah. Anything like on the way before I get to the apartment, or?
Nothing exceptional, just a lot more ropes to climb down and up and around, and
He gets Ferrix gets to his apartment. It's like a room that I think has like, not only is it like sideways, but it's kind of at an angle too. So the whole he sort of like gets the door open. I think I'm just gonna I'll do this.
Yeah.
He just, as he walks up, he casts knock
Okay.
to just like the lock expand.
Yeah, it breaks apart.
And he just
bursts.
kicks the basically knocks the door open, comes inside, and has like a pile of doorknobs that are hanging like to the side, and he
That's awesome.
he puts a new one on there, just really
Just has a bunch of
haphazardly.
locks that don't even have keys.
and throws he throws like a big wooden brace in front of the door. It's maybe a little excessive for the space. The apartment itself is like really it's small, maybe only like 6 feet by maybe probably like 10 feet by 6 feet or something.
Okay.
It's pretty narrow. There's a mat and stuff to trance on, and then there's like maybe a small little table where spells are prepared with a barrel that is it's not a barrel, it's a stool, but one of the legs has been replaced by an expended staff.
Nice.
Maybe an
Like
expended wand.
Like a wand or
Yeah,
something.
an expended wand. And he takes his bottle of absinthe and he just pulls the cork out with his teeth, spits it across the room against maybe some other ones, and he takes a big swig of it. He puts it on the desk, and also on the desk is like a little box, and next to like a long wizard pipe.
Very good.
And he opens up the wizard pipe, and there's some like purple crystals in there.
Right, yes. Nexus residue crystals, of course.
And he's gonna like grind those up in his little pestle mortal for
Crystallized astral plane, don't you know?
Yeah. And he's basically gonna start smoking those in the long wizard pipe as he then takes a few more swigs of the absinthe, and then he's gonna take that staff that was mentioned earlier, and he's gonna like examine it for another couple of seconds and like throw it across the room with the rest of the stuff from his bag until he gets to the actual like the needle. Go ahead.
It lands with kind of a clank and then like kind of rights itself so that it's standing like it was when you first found it.
He like glances over at it. As he's getting to the he almost thinks of inspecting it more, but he instead decides to go back to the matter at hand, and he's going to finish up the grinding the materials and preparing the ink to finish copying those spell scrolls onto the rest of his leg.
Fantastic, and I think you have enough time to still get a full rest in and scribe at least.
I only have 2 hours. I have 2 hours left on.
So you can finish that one at least.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
fantastic.
He's gonna do that, smoke his crystals into the night, and then he'll finish. He finishes tattooing up.
Just because I feel like it's an important character thing. The crystals simulate sort of a dream state.
That's what I was. When he's done with the tattoo, he's gonna like shuffle, get into the corner, sit on the mat where he's trancing. He's gonna finish smoking the rest of his crystal pipe, and he's gonna think back to his conversation the previous day with Toss about sleeping and dreaming. He's gonna think on that as he trances, and is gonna like sort of try to will himself into a dream that he's not in control of.
Very cool. Swinging back to Vox. We haven't seen Vox in a while. Still skipping? What you up to?
I'm doing maybe a couple cartwheels too.
Oh, okay.
Looking for where our family tree is.
I hate you so much.
I stand in the middle of a clearing where there's a couple of rather large trees.
Yeah.
I always forget where the entrance is. Oh, I learned this trick. He starts casting a spell where he takes some of the earth and he like squeezes it in his hand, and he like rubs it in his eyes and then wipes it off. Hello? Plants, you can talk now.
You're not actually casting anything.
That's
right?
an actual spell.
You're casting speak. I thought you were just mocking Ferrex's see invisible thing. Okay, so you're actually going to talk to the plants.
Speak with plants.
Okay, what plant are you talking to?
Well, there's 3 trees in front of me. All right, which one of you remembers where the entrance is?
And one of the trees goes. The middle tree goes. Vox, every time, really?
Hey, man, it's a big world.
And the left tree goes. Not that big.
Well, I mean, your world's not big because you're in one place all the time, but I'm everywhere.
The left one goes. We don't follow.
Well, I mean, your roots keep you where you are. but I don't have roots, so I just kind of like... It's like when a log rolls down a hill.
The middle one goes, enough. Our, our roots run deep, but for now, it's to the left, Vox. It's literally just right to your left. Go like 15 feet. It's
He like sidesteps and it's
Yeah.
like, oh! We hide it. I just forget. I just kind of like push the vines in and like look around to where our big open area for a meeting would be. Hello? Am I late?
As you say that, you hear from up above. Vox 7, is that you?
Yes. Who is speaking?
And you see a rope comes down from the tree, and a blonde-haired elf woman comes and like kind of does a cool spinny thing down the rope and lands springy and goes, "You're back."
I am. Hey, Volpina, how are you?
Doing well, Vox. What did you bring back? Anything fun?
No, they took it.
They always take it, Vox. She goes and sits down on a stump.
Well, I mean, they paid me again too, but I kind of gave it away again.
Why?
Well, we get so much from the forest already.
I suppose you're right, but it wouldn't be so bad if we, I feel like it would balance things a bit if we got some things from civilization too, just...
Yeah, but then you over-civilize, and then the forest kind of like goes away. I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose of what we do, doesn't it?
I guess you're right, Vox. And at the same time, you hear Vox, you're back, and an older elf comes out from around the side of the tree and says, "How was the trip?"
Oh, Fox 4. It's very, very nice to see you again. It's been a very, very long time.
How was yes, I finally made it back to this side of the tree.
It's a big tree.
It's Vox,
Sorry.
you know that I was speaking metaphorically, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just have to check with you sometimes.
Metaphorically.
Oh, this just keeps getting worse. You were with the Onis again?
Yes. The Church of Victoria required Druidic aid to travel through forests. Which was weird because we spent most of the time moving through portals, and then it was like I kind of helped them, but this map really helps. I'm glad our family has it.
They tend to over-prepare like that. Well, what are you going to do now that you're back, Vox?
Well, where's the rest of the family?
Oh, I'm sure they're around here somewhere.
Branching out.
As
I
we
burn
do.
the forest.
I'm actually Toss is asleep right now, and this is his dream. He's having a nightmare. No, forest jokes.
No, this is just how they communicate. All right, to get to the root of the issue. We're a bit concerned that you've been aiding in things that it's really not our place to... Why are we recovering? Why are we helping them recover things that are best left alone, Seven?
Well, I mean, that's what I've said for, but you know how the church is. They want what they want.
I suppose, although I don't see why we have to help getting them. Don't we have a higher calling, a nobler one?
Well, everyone thinks their calling is more noble, but really, like I've said before, we're all the same people. We really just have to work together.
I wish that everybody thought that way, but unfortunately, especially those people you've been working for, don't seem to share your optimism about our people.
Yeah, there's a half-elf, and they're kind of mean to him. I mean, not everyone is, but I try to be nice.
I don't believe I've ever met a half-elf. In any case, are you going to return then? What are you going to do?
My job's done. I was paid. So, I mean, what needs tending?
The whole forest needs tending, Vox. You know what we do here.
Well, I know. I was doing it all the way over.
And that explains the extra flowers and on the path that you walked in on.
It smells good, and it makes everyone smile.
All right, Toss. Well, let's Toss.
I was like,
Fox. Yeah, Toss
Toss
is.
here?
He's dreaming, right? We're still in this dream. Sorry.
Hippie elves!
Well, if nothing else, we can have a big meal to welcome you back before you go on your way again.
Now, you know how I feel about us using too much of the forest. We all know good berries. We can all sustain ourselves with very little.
You're right, Fox. What was I thinking? And Vulpina's sitting there going, do you have to be so by the map, Vox?
But the map doesn't say anything about food.
Do you have to be so literal, too?
Oh, it's one of those, what's the word? Not metaphor. What is it called?
A good berry grows out of the stump she's sitting on, and she just goes, I'm not helping you with this.
Oh. I'm going to go with practical. That's the word I'm going to pick. I'm practical.
Sure. So are we just going to eat good berries? Is that the plan?
He reaches over and eats one. Hey, you can always grow different flavored ones. You just always pick cherry.
You weren't expecting this today,
yes,
were you?
and you bicker with your family on into the night.
Did you think you would be role playing a tree when we started this session today?
I did not, but that was fun. Gara, you're finished with your shopping.
Great. Gara heads home.
Fantastic. You actually have. Where do you think Gara lives? Actually.
Ooh, help me out. We talked,
Yeah, absolutely. We talked a little bit about it, but I don't think we ever settled on anything.
Well, I think Gary lives in. He's a well-paid union man. He's kind of been around for a while, so it's kind of more older housing, an older suburb.
Okay. I'm gonna say, yeah, you live in like the middle chord of Arx Renatas, which is, for those of you who watch Moonlight, a very similar sort of walled city to Arx Genisquare, but it's attached to Domus Batrum. It's one of the few new structured cities that is in the portal in this side of the portal network here, in the cluster of Domus Batrum. You make your way there. You have a modern home. There's a white picket fence out front, and
Great. He walks in and greets his wife, Alera.
Alera.
He asks her if they're if the ministry, what's the government of all elves?
It's sort of ambiguous. Honestly, the Victoria Ecclesia and honestly the accord between the two churches is sort of what's running things right now.
So maybe it'd be the church, or maybe it's like a separate ministry of procreation.
Oh yes, absolutely. Oh okay.
But
okay.
He asks,
That's where you're going with this.
Yeah. He asks her if they've heard anything back from the ministry about their to receive permission to procreate, have a child.
She says, yes, of course. It seems like they've been approving a lot more of these recently, since the whole effort to repopulate has begun. So we've actually been cleared, although there is a shadow. There's a shadow tap on it, so it's possible that the shadow strategy could take our child if it happens, if they demonstrate the correct aptitudes.
I see. Well, we have been waiting 85 years for this, so I suppose
the approval process was really long.
I suppose it's worth a try.
All right then.
Forgive it.
No, it's all right. You put on Elvish Berry White and
That's right, Elvish Berry White.
Berithiel with Tossel.
Autolycus.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a very famous Elvish bard.
Great. Get it going on.
And
Okay, roll.
Roll
roll,
for
roll,
How long does it last?
roll for child.
I think actually, I think Gara the first one in Threshold did it late. No,
Rasper.
Actually, Rasper's.
Yeah.
Rasper did that like I think
yeah.
well, no, actually I think Jamie like episode 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
I take that back. He's the first elf.
I see how.
I
I see what you're saying.
don't want to know how that works.
No. Yeah. They.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's magical and government sanctioned. Okay. Everybody's pretty much in for the night except Tiff.
Yeah.
What are you up to?
Tiff is going to, after like weighing the stone and everything, she's going to start doing some glass blowing to try and make a copy of the stone.
Fantastic. Okay, so you're
Glass.
you're blowing glass and trying to just make an approximation of it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Do you have any kind of craft skill? I assume most of the equipment there is available.
Yeah.
But
So in each, how I see is in each like studio, depending on how high you up you are. So her kiln doubles as like a heating, like a oven.
Mhm.
So it like heats the room, but it also is practical in the sense that you can do glass blowing, you can heat metal, all that. So she has one of those in her room, and she has the supplies in her personal room because she's a higher up. She doesn't have to use the communal areas.
fantastic. Yeah, you can requisition private rooms for
Yeah.
your projects. Very good.
So she spends most of her time doing that. She's not trying to make it so that she could switch them, but she just wants a copy of it as like a reminder.
Mhm.
So she's going to work on that and then take a 4-hour rest and meditate and pray to Victoria for guidance.
Fantastic. Yeah, you're able to create a similar approximation of the stone out
How
of
good of a
glass.
copy is it?
It's you're not quite able to get the same like layering and complexity and stuff, but you're able to approximate the shape and size fairly well.
Okay.
Um,
And
I
the symbols too?
I'm probably not precise on the symbols, but you're able to kind of give me a quick roll. Let's do.
What am I doing?
Let's see. Let's do wisdom, just straight wisdom.
18.
Fantastic. Yeah. Through careful manipulation of the glass, as well as just your practiced hands and knowledge of such things, you're able to sort of approximate the wispy patterns and stuff, even though they don't appear to be imbued with a similar magic just
Okay.
yet. But yeah, it's like if you look at the two side by side, like the glass is a little lighter and you can see through more of it. And like it's very clear that one is an approximation of the other, but
Mhm.
you got pretty close.
Okay. Great.
As you all settle in, I'm gonna go ahead and end things because this was an interesting split party town time session. But yeah, that's gonna be it for us for Relics of the Homeland episode 4. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. We love subscriptions. We crave them. Follow us on Twitter. Check us out on Facebook. All of that stuff.
Patreon.
Oh yes, please, please. We have a Patreon going now. There will be a link. Check it out. It's a good way to help us, maybe improve our audio quality sometime soon. It just helps us make a better show, and we need it. No, we don't need it, but thank you. Thank you, all of our patrons and all of that. I'll stop rambling. See you tomorrow for questions, comments, and concerns. See you Wednesday for afterwards. Thank you for watching.